Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Cam Fats coming at you on behalf of the Cam Fats YouTube channel. I want to do another update for you on this COVID-19 case count thing that I've been tracking right here in Ohio. It's been really, really weird, and this is kind of an update video. So, you know, to catch you up on what's going on, basically I've been noticing the numbers have been fluctuating a lot on the official analytics for Ohio. Our case count numbers are all over the place. They keep adding more cases to past days. They're adding numbers retroactively. And today, for the first time, I noticed they actually took a case away from a past days. It was really, really weird what's been happening. But I highly recommend that if you like the stuff I'm talking about in this video, but you're not quite sure everything I mean, I highly suggest you go back and watch the other videos that I did on this. This is actually the fourth video I've done on this update series, but I put a playlist on this channel so you can go back and watch the whole series that I've done. You can, because I go through all the numbers and everything. I'm going to get into a few more numbers here right now. I want to show you guys some of the changes that's happened just since we looked at this yesterday. It's really crazy. Okay, so let me go ahead and go over to screen share. The first thing I want to show you is this video. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so here we are on a video. This video was taken, is an NBC video. It was taken on April 10th, 2 days ago. Now, I want to show you this video because in this video, she's talking about Ohio expanding like the definition for COVID-19. And she's talking about, basically, they're talking about like counting cases of COVID-19 without people even being tested, right? So listen to what she says.
But very importantly, the subtle changes that have occurred, as the governor said, are talking about expanded confirmed case definitions. So in the past, a confirmed case was from a test. That test being a special kind of test called a PCR test. That's the test that we've been talking about for the most part all along. Now there are some new testing technologies available. We still don't have them in any significant amount in Ohio. One is a rapid genetic test.
Okay, so she's talking about different kinds of tests they're getting ready to come out with. And she's also talking about, so far, the only positive cases have been people who have been tested. But just pay attention to what she's getting ready to say.
Called the ICD, the ID Now. That's an Abbott test or a few other brands. Those can do a rapid 2-hour, but it's still more like those PCR tests. Pretty soon, as the governor said, the test I'm waiting for are the antibody and antigen tests that are a prick of the finger versus anyone who's had this test knows what I'm talking about, or a flu test, the swab that you actually have go down your nose. And it's people who've had it know that that is something.
Now she's getting ready to fit something else in here right at the end, and she kind of, like most people who aren't medical people and they don't care about this technical medical stuff, and they're just kind of, their eyes are probably going to be glazing over what she's saying right now, and she fits this in right at the end, and you got to listen to what she says.
Not fun. Having a quick test that you can do blood on will help us rapidly diagnose people both with the disease and an antigen, and also people who have recovered from the disease. All of that data is so essential for us figuring out who now is no longer susceptible but is actually recovered. And as we know, we are all susceptible because this is a novel virus. So that new definition will be including the new types of testing that are now available, though I can tell you that is not really widely available in Ohio yet. What that did for us is change our case definition yesterday by about 17 cases. So it's still not a lot of numbers, but we want to be really clear with folks where we're getting our numbers as we move forward. And it also allows the...
Oh, and by the way, it also allows, listen to this,
diagnosis of cases in epidemiologic and clinical conditions. What that means is, for instance, in a nursing home where we have very few tests available, once you've tested a couple of the nursing home residents and they clearly, in the old PCR test, have COVID-19, we can pretty much guarantee that every other case, if they're flu negative and no other respiratory disease, are basically a spread of that disease. So those very detailed clinical cases that have a tie to a very clear person who tested positive as their exposure is also counted.
That's what she said. She's basically saying that, hey, if I have a patient in a nursing home who is in a nursing home with another patient who tested positive for COVID-19, well, because they're in the same basic nursing home environment, like if they have tested negative for the flu, then we can safely assume they're also a COVID-19 positive patient if they're showing symptoms, right? But essentially, what she's saying is we're counting people who haven't been tested for COVID-19, right? I mean, on the surface, if you look at what she said, it's like, okay, that's reasonable. But if you just look just a little bit deeper than the surface level and just don't be so accepting of what people say, think about that for a second. Why would you count people that haven't been tested for something? Why would you just automatically assume that they have it? Now, I understand automatically assuming they have it, like as far as like trying to treat them. But as far as like assuming they have it for your official numbers, that seems kind of strange. Why would you go ahead and count them on the official numbers? They haven't been tested for that illness. It doesn't make sense. There's no reason to do that because she says right here, well, hold on, just listen to what she says.
So we see the tip of the iceberg right now. We have to be very clear and transparent with you.
She talks about being transparent with us so much, but then she is being transparent. She just basically told you we're counting people that haven't even been tested for this illness. But she's talking about seeing the tip of the iceberg, right?
These numbers are a gross underestimation of the amount of disease out there.
So if it's a gross underestimation of the disease out there, we already know it's a gross underestimation of the disease, why then do we need to count cases that haven't even been tested? Why would we make our numbers even more inaccurate? That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense for us to make our numbers inaccurate by just counting people that haven't even been tested for the illness. It doesn't make sense. I understand if people are like in the same nursing home and that person, you don't have enough tests for COVID-19, so this person tested positive. So you're assuming since they're in the same nursing home and this person's showing symptoms, they're presenting symptoms, and they're testing negative for the flu. However, she didn't even say they were testing them for the flu. And I wonder if that's even something that's happening. But let's just assume they're being tested for the flu and for pneumonia. And let's say they test negative for flu, negative for pneumonia. They're just assuming they have COVID-19 and they're counting them on their official numbers. Doesn't make sense. If you already know it's an underestimate. If the analytics are already underestimated and there's tons of cases out there, why would you then go ahead and make your numbers even more inaccurate by counting people who you have no clue if they have it or not because they haven't been officially tested? It doesn't make any sense. So I wanted to show you guys that. That was 2 days ago on April 10th. And you see on Friday, April 10th, 2020, Mike DeWine held a press conference. He's been holding these every day, by the way. But anyways, let me get on to the numbers. I just want to show you guys something. So as we see, today is the 12th, just the beginning of the 12th, right? They haven't updated these numbers for the 12th yet. They've only updated them for the 11th. They update them every day at 2 p.m. Okay, so they've updated them for the 11th. So this is really kind of the 11th numbers right here. I'm just doing this late. But anyways, as of the 11th, 6,250 cases in Ohio. And look, now it has us crossing 6,000 cases on the 8th. On the freaking 8th, man. On the freaking 8th, it has us crossing 6,039 cases. But look at this video. Let's look at another spot in this video. Let me show you something. We go to another spot in this video. Watch this.
This going, and that is at coronavirus.org. Please, jobs that are available in these businesses for the great And,
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Check
Thank you,
this
Governor,
out.
and good afternoon to everyone. Let us begin.
Remember, this video is the same video I was just showing you before. This is just a different place in the video. This was recorded on the 10th. 10th, this is when this was recorded.
With the numbers. So today we are talking about total cases at 5,878.
She's reporting on the same screen I'm showing you guys right now, right? This is for the 10th, 5,878. Well, that's odd because, you know, according to this now, you guys changed the numbers to 6,249. I mean, you're reporting that day on the 10th, but I look on the 10th now and it's 6,249. That's pretty wild, you know. I mean, it's crazy. Like it's in plain sight. It's in plain sight that these numbers are being adjusted constantly. Plain sight. Okay. I'll tell you something else. You guys go back to my video that I shot yesterday, and I was complaining because on the 27th, Governor DeWine said, look, on the 27th, we go down here. Let me show you. I pulled this article up several times. This is crazy. You're going to love this. Okay. On the 27th, go back here to news releases. Governor DeWine. We go down here to the very first report that he had on coronavirus on the 27th of February, right here. There are no confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Ohio, nor anyone currently under investigation for the virus. That's funny because what I noticed was on the 27th, the first time I checked it, there was 15 cases. I checked it yesterday. It had moved up to 16 cases on the 27th. Okay, now let's go to the 27th and what's it look like? Now you can go back to my video yesterday and see that on February 27th, it was 16 cases. It had moved up one case and 2 new case count. All right, you can see it on the video. All right, but now look at it. It's back down to 15 cases, and the daily case count is 1. It's 1, right? It's 1. Now, yesterday, I didn't take a screen capture of it being 16 and 2, but, you know, I definitely got it 15 and 2 when I took the numbers on the 9th. On the 9th, it was 15 and 2. 2 new case counts have been added that day. 15 and 2 on the 9th. On the 10th, it was 16 and 2, 16 total case count, 2 daily case count. You can see it in my video yesterday. And now today, it's back down to 15 and 1. Daily case count has been taken down to 1. It's odd. We went from a daily case count of 2 to a daily case count of 1. It doesn't even make any sense, right? So what I want to do now is I just want to do a check over all these numbers right here. I'm going to recheck them. We're going to go the 12th, the 27th, the 8th, and the 9th, just to benchmark, see what's happening, okay? So let's go ahead. Let's do this. All right, so this is so we're going to go back to the first case, which is the 12th. And as we can see, it's still got the 12th listed as the very first case. That's good. That hasn't changed. Okay. We're going to go ahead and save that as a, we're going to save that right here in the 9th. I honestly, I should save it in a different folder. I should make a folder for the 12th. For 12. Actually, I want to do this for the 11th because even though I'm doing this on the 12th, it's really for the 11th numbers because they won't update numbers for the 12th until 2 p.m. And I just happen to be a little after midnight. So I'm going to set these for, so this is going to be 2/12/2020 numbers taken on 4/11/2020. Really, they've been taken early into the 12th, but these numbers count for the 11th. Okay, so very cool. So those haven't changed. We see, okay, Okay, we see the 27th, we got 15 and 1 daily case count. Save as. We're gonna do this. We're gonna make that the 27th, take it on, right? So perfect. Now, interesting, right? Because if we look at like the 9th and we look at these numbers, right, we see that this is 15 with a daily case count of 2 on the 27th. How can it be possible? How can it be 15 with a daily case count of 2 if now it's 15 with a daily case count of 1? What happened? We lost a person, but we have the same daily case count. We have the same total case count, but a different daily case count. I'll tell you what happened, because it said 16 yesterday, and then they reduced it by 1, and now the daily case count went down to 1, even though it doesn't make any sense because it was a daily case count of 2. These numbers are completely fake. These are just fake BS numbers. These numbers aren't even real. Anyways, let me keep on going. So the next one was the 8th. This is going to be 4/8 was our next benchmark. Okay, so we see our current. Let me just current was 6,039. I'm going to go ahead and get a screen share of that. I'm going to change that to 4/08 2020. We're going to compare these in a second. Let me tell you something. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. So 4/8 6039 6039. Let's look at my old 4/8 from the 9th, and we look at those numbers, and we see it was, you know, we can see it used to be 5511 taken on the 9th. 2 days ago it was 5511. So, minus 5511, we see it's went up an additional 528 patients for the 8th. I mean, it's crazy, man. I mean, it's absolutely bizarre. And if I look at these, we see 363 cases added on the 9th, another 301 cases added on the 10th. I mean, it's nuts. I mean, 664 cases. And so if I take this and I minus the 301, if I minus the 301 that was added, we're going to see they added another 227 cases since I checked it last. Psh, crazy. Another 227 cases added on 11th. Right? Another 227 cases added on the 11th to the 8th. So that's like, I mean, that's crazy, man, because that's like, I mean, it's basically, if I take the 227 and plus the 664, that's 891. 891 confirmed cases have been added retroactively to the 8th of April. 891 cases added retroactively after the fact, after the 8th was way over, right? Bizarre, right? Now the 9th, so there's the 9th. We know that 364 cases were added to the 9th on the 10th, right? Those were added on the 10th. 364 extra cases were added retroactively on the 10th to 4/9. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and see what we're at right now. Let me go ahead and close this. Okay, so we look at 4/9, 6181. So we got 6,008. Hold on a second. Let me just. 4/9. Okay, so there's our 4-9 numbers. All right, so this is on the 9th. I took these numbers. All right, this was on the 9th. So there we are on the 9th, right? So 5512 on the 9th. That's how many they had on the 9th. This was last updated on the 9th, right? So that's where they're at. Now, if we go over here, we're on the 11th. It was last updated on the 11th. So 2 days after, and we go back to the 9th, and we got 6181. Okay, so 5512 on the 9th. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our 6250, or I'm sorry, 6181, 6181 minus what we had on the 9th. Right there, the 9th, 5512. So minus 5512. We got 669 cases have been added in the last 2 days to the 9th. So, you know, it's crazy, man. So, so 669 cases have been added. So if we take the 364 cases that were added on the 10th, and we minus them, we know that we got an extra 305 cases that were added on the 11th. Another 305 cases added on 11th. I mean, it just goes on and on, man. I mean, it's like plus. So I don't know. It's pretty crazy, man. So anyways, I got new numbers taken right here on the 11th. I mean, I don't know what's going on, to be honest with you. Let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen. So all right, so I don't know what's going on, but the numbers are wacky, like especially the one on the 27th is really troubling to me, because on the 27th, you can go back and watch my videos, but if you look on the 27th, when I first tracked it, it was 15 cases on the 27th with 2 new case counts that day. And that means they were 13, but then they tracked another 2 that day positive. Yesterday, I checked it, and it was up to 16 on the 27th and 2 new case counts. So completely changed. And then, today on the 11th here, I check it, and it's back down to 15 and only 1 new case count. Completely doesn't make any sense. I don't know. You guys have to tell me what you think. I have no clue. It's wacky. It's wacky. Like, the more I track these numbers, the more I feel like they're just made up. They're just made up numbers. They're not even accurate, especially after watching that video where she's basically saying, we're counting. If you're in the same vicinity as someone with COVID and you have symptoms and you're, not testing positive for the flu, then we're just going to count you as having it. I mean, doesn't make any sense. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense if you're trying to treat someone and you're trying to help them, but I don't think it really makes sense from a analytical standpoint of counting numbers. That doesn't make sense. Why would you just pad the numbers with people who are symptomatic if you haven't tested them? That doesn't seem like it makes sense to me, unless you're just trying to pad your numbers and make them greater than what they are. Very weird stuff. You guys have to tell me what you think. I think I'm going to let this ride until Monday. Tomorrow's Easter, and I won't be messing with this stuff on Easter. I wish you guys have a happy Easter, and on Monday I'm gonna call them. I think I'm just gonna call them and ask them how they do their numbers and why these numbers are fluctuating and what am I looking at, because they're constantly fluctuating. Um, yeah. Anyways, it's amazing that we went over 6,000 cases. It's just amazing. It's amazing that they're adding numbers retroactively. Like retroactively, they're adding numbers 300, 600, 800 cases and a day that was like last week or something. They're adding another 300 or 400 cases. Like, it's crazy. Doesn't even make sense. It's bizarre. Just bizarre. Anyways, you guys let me know what you think. I don't know. I'm I'm baffled. I am truly baffled. Uh, and the funny thing is, it's all hidden it's just in plain sight. That, like, she'll just tell you right there on the conference, hey, we're counting people that haven't even been tested. Like, she puts it behind all this technical stuff, but she says it. She puts it right there, and she talks about being transparent with people the whole time she's doing it. Like, she's smiling at us, telling us we're counting people that aren't even tested. Um, it's baffling. I don't see any reason why you would count people on official numbers that haven't even been tested. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you count people that haven't even been tested for this virus on the official numbers, unless you were just trying to pad the numbers? That's the only thing that makes sense. It doesn't seem logical to to count people that haven't been, you know, especially, like, see, here's the thing, especially when you're trying to flatten the curve and you're trying to get a true understanding for if your numbers are starting to go down. You're trying to get an understanding for if the numbers are starting to decline. How can you get a true understanding for if the numbers are really starting to decline if you're counting all these people that have never been tested? How would you know if the numbers are starting to decline? It doesn't make sense. So, I mean, you need the tests to be accurate. You shouldn't be counting people that haven't tested positive, even if you're only counting a small sample size of the number of people who truly have COVID-19. Your numbers, even if it's a small sample size, should be accurate numbers. That's the only way you're going to know if the curve is truly starting to flatten out and truly starting to decline. Like, adding people on just like a guess, that's not even like real medical stuff. Like, people just don't do that. That's not even how medical people do stuff. Why would you just add something to your official numbers on a guess? Ah, that's really weird. It doesn't even make sense. So I don't know. It's baffling to me. It's honestly, it's a little disheartening, to be honest with you. It's kind of discouraging. It's really annoying, and it makes me wonder what the hell's going on, to be honest with you. So I don't know, man. I'm like you guys. I'm tired of hanging around in my house all the damn time. Here we are getting into April and going into May. I mean, like you guys, man, I'm ready to get outside and then do some stuff. And I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. So, anyways, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think out there. I'm gonna get off here and think about going to bed. I'll see you guys. Peace.